name is Karol and my business is Silver Arc. We do e-commerce development, mostly on Shopify. It took me a while to decide on the service that we're going to sell. At the beginning, it was a mix of everything related to web development. But once I started selling the same service and knowing who is my ICP and learning about everything related to it, things started going really well. We do everything related to Shopify, from designs, migrations, development, and maintenance. Nothing outside this scope. The types of clients that we get at the beginning were people that are starting their business. They don't even know nothing about how an online business should work, and opening a store is not something easy. You need to know that you will have to invest a lot of money on marketing. You need a good website, it has to convert. But after I gained more experience in thanks to BMI, I started filtering more who I get in and who I want as a client, which I mentioned before, knowing the ICP. And now we get mostly people that already have a company, people that have something physical, they already probably have offices also. They want to go into the online world, and we do that. We assist them, we consult them, and then we build everything from there. I've been in BMI for over 2 years now. It took me like 6 months to leave my job, which was amazing, but then I had something else in the side. That's why I never like jumped from where I was to where I wanted to be from the BMI perspective, because we are essentially building an agency here. But once all the things that were distracting were off the table, I saw the improvement, taking advantage of all the different advice that the BMI mentors give you inside, because there are mentors and also accountability coaches. My first sale, I remember it was like a 2K design for a landing page, which was like, oh my God, I can make money on the internet. It was the first time. And from there, I have arrived to almost 55K a month in less than 3 years, which for some people it can be little, for some people it can be a lot of time. But for me, that I never thought this was possible, and I saw these numbers like something crazy. Now it even looks like small, because you know how much more you could be doing if things are better in place. But overall, this is one of my best months. Average is between 20 to 30K, sometimes more than 30K, but very comfortably I can make these numbers. In BMI, I learned everything. I came here like a white paper. I didn't know anything. I jumped into the adventure and I learned everything. What do I mean with everything? First of all, there was like a shift. I started believing, okay, other people are saying inside the group that they are making money and they are showing how they are making it. So it's okay, this is possible. I learned that is possible. I learned how to get clients. I learned how to follow up with them, how to do sales calls. Like, I have done so many sales calls at this time. I remember even like maybe the first 150 sales call, I was still going super nervous to the calls. But after that, it was okay. I got very used to it thanks to BMI, because there was already a structure, there was calls being revised, and I was giving a lot of recommendations, because for me it was very difficult. I came from a different world, and it was amazing because even if you still maybe make a mistake or two, you already know what works, how to get a client, how to maintain them happy throughout the process. This is one of the most important things that I learned in BMI, and then a bunch of other things around that. So once a client is closed, once the clients trust me and says, okay, I want to work with this person and their company, how to maintain them, all the processes that go through the delivery phases, the communication, and also very importantly, something that I struggled a lot was delegating the work. I was always like, okay, I have to work on everything myself, like getting the clients. Lead generation takes also time, the sales calls, the nurturing them, then the delivery, the project management. You can't do everything. And in BMI, I learned all the bases, and then how to improve from there also. It's not just to make these things, but to go the extra mile. The mentors are super helpful. All the information that you have in the Facebook group is very valuable. People refer you to people. People explain also their mistakes, and not only the mistakes, but also how they win. So you can also compare what you have and say, okay, how can I get there in my service? So all of this mix, and having a community that is all the time active, and people really care that you are successful, because your success will also determine the success of other people that come later, because I can also teach them. This community feeling is amazing. And basically I learned all what I know right now in the agency world, and on everything related to it on BMI is crazy, because there was a point in my life I was doing all the processes that BMI tells you at the beginning. And in my mind, sometimes I was like, maybe I have to go back to work at one point, because you're still like there learning. It's the beginning. You don't quite believe it yet. And it's not yet objectified. I don't know how to explain that. So I was like, maybe I go back to a job sometime because something goes wrong. But after you make that click and things start falling into place and they work based on what I learned in BMI, it's like never again. There's so many things that we can do in the agency. There's so many leads out there, money that can be made. And knowing all these basics that I learned in BMI is, of course, never again a job. And if possible, the agency business is the best. The plans that I have currently in the business are, first of all, to maintain this stabilization, to make it a bit more stable, even though it is keeping the 50K numbers, maybe getting a bit more because it's possible. But I want to focus on clients that are a bit bigger because now there is a lot of very big companies that want migrations to Shopify because Shopify is coming like a giant. Before it was very related to drop shipping gurus and the drop shipping sphere, but now bigger companies trust it, so there are very big migrations that are needed. I have a couple of leads that are very big companies wanting that, so I'm thinking of transitioning on getting these types of clients on board, which are quite big, and it's like projects that can take like months and years. Every time I try, I have this great idea that could work as another business model related to the Shopify agency. I have to shut it down because there's so much work that I can still do, still growing this agency, Silverark, that I need to keep focusing, even if at one point the agency looks like boring money because you can just keep making money and making money. There is a lot more to do, and once that can be almost or fully automatized, then I would jump into something else, which I had a lot of ideas to do, but at the end I have to put them in one side to focus on what is most important, which is this, and it's literally giving a lot of money every month. So I would like to get bigger clients that are looking for huge migrations to Shopify at the moment. In my opinion, BMI is for people that are ready to put the work, people that can take advice from people that are a bit beyond them or even a lot beyond them, because I can see that depending on the type of person that you are, if you don't take advice or if you don't let yourself be helped, you're never going to succeed, because if you do this path alone, it can take years and you're probably going to fail. But in BMI, the structure is for everybody to help each other, even when you're beginning or in the middle or in the top people that are doing the most amount and have the most amount of experience. Everybody's helping everybody. If you don't have this kind of attitude and you're not willing to put the work, mostly in the beginning also, during all your path, I think you can't make it. So if you're someone that really wants to make money online, you know that you can do more than just have a job and listen to someone telling you what is best for you, which is not true probably. You have to know what is best for you, but sometimes you also need to help yourself to get into that position. And you only help yourself if you get yourself into this attitude of, I'm going to learn from everybody, I'm going to also help how much I can to other people and put the work, because this is not a thing that you can do one week and then stop and get results. You need to put the work constantly and really give dedication and pour almost your whole self to do this, because it's super worth it once you achieve this and you look back and say, oh my God, I've done this myself, and in front of you all the way that you can still make to the top and get all the objectives that you want. All of that can be achievable, but you need to put the work, be open with other people, and let yourself be helped.